Alrighty, this is P.O.C. vehicle 1115. If you recall during the 6 a.m. hour during daylight savings time, J. Sandoval is engaging in surveillance. She is stalking in the path in concert with the people who engage in psychopathic pacing. This is what, for example, inside of the buildings where they're in engineer light, and this is the fake sun where they're covered in engineer light, and the entity is always engaging in stalking on behalf of the government, which is what the Ontario Police engage in. They do so conspicuously to communicate a threat. They call themselves communicating a threat to the person that is having them disbanded and putting each and every one of them in federal prison. These are gang members, and this is gang violence, and the Ontario Police are not free to engage in surveillance by merely putting on uniforms and calling themselves a law enforcement agency, which is exactly what the state of California has committed while they are engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct. Jay Sandoval is gang stalking me during daylight savings time under the 6 a.m. fake sun, and it is currently 10:35 a.m. during standard time, which would be 11:35 a.m. during daylight savings time. She is going to prison by virtue of that evidence, and so is the third party that is communicating a threat. The threat is based on what is the identity of the state, presence, also the entity's criminal conduct that has already been documented, such as malicious assertions, lying about the fact that I'm dead. The entity has engaged in what is stating that I'm dead while they've been engaged in kidnapping with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. They've engaged in what is kidnapping with regard to malicious assertions. They're engaging in what is stalking and monitoring all my devices, simultaneously engaging in acts of retaliation, such as removing my evidence off the internet and then stalking me by helicopter at the same time. The entity is engaging in what is stalking in the neighborhood, and Jay Sandoval is under the 6 a.m. fake sun that's over the same building in the same parking lot. This is POC, this is the department, and this is the prosecution of Mike LORENZ. She is going to prison. This looks like the big nose Hadel, I believe. This is the entity that's engaged in what is kidnapping June 16, 2022. The threat is both expressed and implied. They're engaging in the pattern of conduct with the people of the state. They're enabling and sharing in criminal activity with the people of the state. And they're with the gang members that are communicating threats to summon the stalkers themselves, the Ontario Police. That's what this third party is engaging in. Her audible activity in the engineer light, the entity stalking by the Ontario International Airport, the entity stalking as an entity, doing so now conspicuously with the gang members that are always sharing in the pattern of conduct with all of the people of the state. She's going to prison, and so is this demon in this vehicle, license 1680789. That's Impossible Light. She's a demon. That's a demon. The Ontario Police are not just criminals and stalkers, they are demon possessed. That third party is going to prison. That's the department that she's threatening to summon when they are stalking me together in furtherance of murder. That is demon possession while you see engineer light dragging in the shade. And this is the entity that's engaged in that pattern of conduct in the physical absence, meaning that department, you don't see them, but they are present vicariously, and they are going to prison. She's gang stalking at the facilitated venue 218 C Street. She's sitting in her vehicle gang stalking just like she is every other day. And this is incriminating. She's going to federal prison. License 9PZF062. There's no sun over the Ovid Family Community Library. And my evidence shows that I'm at the library documenting that same department under that fake sun. They're going to prison. All my evidence is going to be used to put every single last one of them in prison where they're stalking me. And they include the people of the state. License plate NAWHOMI. Threatening to commit criminal summoning while you're stalking with that agency in furtherance of murder is federal prison. 9PZF062. They're doing so with the Ontario International Airport. They're demons alike. 8JDC516. My evidence shows that the entity has a fake sun into the evening at this same location as well. And that's an unlawful threat where you are engaging what is threatening while an ongoing federal case is underway against you. Whether or not you want to admit it or address it or concede to that is irrelevant. You're going to prison. All right, and this is the exact same stalking conduct that the gang members at Safeco Auto LLC committed when a stalker like this one at 218 C Street commits criminal summoning while you are being targeted by that entity. That's the pattern of conduct. This is indeed POC, and let me show you more evidence that they're all demons and that they're monitoring. This is my shadow. These are the details that you're not supposed to be aware of. The Ontario Police Department are demon possessed. So are the people of the state, and this is all stalking. All of it is stalking. The entities engage in what is surveillance in the U.S. While the government is monitoring you, the government is necessarily following you. How is the government following you when you are at home and you don't see any police? You don't see any helicopters. You don't see any planes. The entity is doing so by the people of the state who are in the same pattern of conduct in that same environment. You are engaging in the conduct on behalf of that government and are also stripped of any benefits regarding being a private citizen, engaging in any private speech, enjoying any of the benefits of that. The entity is going to federal prison for the malice with which the entity is engaging in that pattern. Ontario Police Department are full of demons and they're going to federal prison. This is exposure of nothing other than a cult that's been trying to hide itself as a police department. And that's what the entire state of California is sharing. So are the people of the state. These are the vagina monitors that are going to prison, and they're called properly the Nephilim. This is POC.